jolt and then you'll die.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going through Windy Cliff's shortcut. Every hole, the best route in my opinion to take, and we'll be using a 4 power club. I know this is a 5 power club, but that's because I've just recently upgraded it, but I can assure you that all of these holes are done with a 4 power club. So yeah, hopefully this helps you out. If it does, make sure to like and subscribe. Just quickly before we begin, YouTube tells me that 90% of you aren't subscribed, so if you could go ahead and do that, appreciate that a lot. It's free and it helps the channel out a lot. But other than that, let's jump straight into the hole-in-ones. Starting off with the 0 to hero, this one, you have to be in this very left starting spot, but if you are, you shoot it a little bit to the left, and very sometimes it will flick you straight into the hole, but otherwise it's just an easy hole-in-2. Zippity Zap. This one, you can't make a hole-in-one for every spot, but from every spot you just fire it over to the left and hope that it goes in. Bot City, the most annoying hole in the game because every single bot makes this in one, and it's actually pretty hard. Just have to hit the very tip of that triangle up the top, and very occasionally it will bring you in, but it's a hard hole-in-one, but the bots always seem to make it. Moving on to the hole-in-2s with Reckless Driving. This one is just like a middle orange off the brick wall over here, so it brings you over to this side. Then you gotta catch the breeze, swerve around like a crazy driver, and pop into the hole. To infinity and beyond. Just gotta wait for the bridge to come round, shoot it out to the left, the wind will blow you on, you can bounce off it. And then this shot's pretty straightforward, you just line it up, blast to infinity and beyond, whatever's below that mystical hole. Catch me if you can. So this one, the first shot's about a soft red, I find works pretty well. Brings you in front of that wall, and then here you just max it. Make sure you catch the geyser. You can't always get far enough for the hole, but you just gotta hope that it brings you in. Just like that. Next up is Spot On. So this one you just wait for the geyser, fire it, hit that brick, spot on, then it brings you straight over. And then the last shot is about a hard orange, round the hoop, and ooh, spot on. And also just another little cool shortcut. I wouldn't really recommend it, but if you do a soft red over to the left and you get up onto this little brick, then you can do a hard yellow and in for a 2. Pretty cool shortcut, but it's very hard. I would not recommend it. Pretty risky. So the fog generator. If you're in the front row, you can just go shoot out to the right a little bit, and then it will bring you over the fog generator. If you're in the back spots, you have to go over the right side. Then from here you can just go over the bridge. And I should just mention this hole was filmed with a 5 power club because I'd already upgraded it and this is the last hole that I hadn't got. But all the other ones were filmed with a 4 power club, and it's just the same route. And check out this awesome dunk by Pedro. Ooh, clean. So skydiving, you just do either a soft orange or a hard yellow, depending how close you are, up the ramp. And then from here, you max it out, skydive down, and sometimes into a hole-in-2, but pretty hard to get in for a hole-in-2. Up and over. Pretty straightforward, just like the name, hop up the hill, and then wait for the geyser. I find a little bit more than a soft orange, aim it at the hole, over the wall, and in for a 2. Next up is Ancient Ruins. If you're in the front spots, you can just go straight over that ruined wall. If you're in the back spots, you sadly just have to tap it up, and then you can fire it over, and usually in for a hole-in-2. As long as you don't get stuck on the bowl, which is one of the stupid things in the game, but you can't do much about it. So hurdle jumping, you just want to hit at the very left of that pile of bricks. Should bring you through here, and then from here, a little bit more than a soft orange, hop over the hurdles and into the hole. The high side of life. Basically what the name says, you want to stay up on that high side. You have to shoot quite far out to the right, and then if you're on the left side up here, you can sometimes get the angle to shoot down and in for a hole in 2. Now we're moving on to the hole in 3s, starting off with whack-a-mole. There's 2 different routes that you can take depending on which side you are. If you're on the right side, a little bit more than a soft orange just brings you up here. Wait for the whack-a-mole to pop up, and then the second one will buff you over here. And from here it's about a hard yellow, and you can get off the wall and back into the hole. Not always going to be a 3, but that's the most consistent route. Or if you're on the left side, you can also just fire it over to this side, and then wait for this whack-a-mole with a soft orange to the very right of it. Also brings you over the right brick wall. And then the last shot is pretty similar. Just got to get a little bit lucky. A hard yellow usually does the trick. Christmas Eve. This one, sadly, you just have to tap it up in front of the old board, and then from there you can fire it around the Christmas tree. No presents, so it must be Christmas Eve. And then the last shot, usually about a soft yellow works, but you're not always going to make that in, but if you do, a soft yellow usually does the trick. Staying on the holiday theme, we have Easter Island. This first shot can be a bit difficult. You got to find the balance. It's a soft yellow plus a little bit more, so in the middle. And then you want to stay on this ramp. From here you can just fire it over that hump there, and then just tap it in for a hole in 3. And if you look behind us, those grey boulders surely do look like the Easter Island guys. Next up is floating driftwood. This one's a pretty straightforward hole. You just want to do a hard yellow off the triangle, and then about a hard orange soft red. Wait for the floating driftwood, shoot down, bowing off it, through the gap, and just tap it in. Hold on to your hats. So with a 4 power you can just go straight over the bridge, and sometimes you'll get the angle to go straight down here, not always, but if you do, then you have a chance to get a hole in 3. But these windy bridges, you have to get a bit lucky to make the hole in 3. 2 lanes, 1 hole. You can basically go either way. In fact, the right side is probably almost better, but if you go to the left side, you just go up here, and if you get close enough, you can go straight over for an easy 3. But you can't always just go straight over, so maybe it's better to go right side. Kind of up to you. 2 lanes, 1 hole. Slam the brakes. So you just fire it over the hump right to the end, and then from here you just fire it against that wall, slam the brakes, and then here you can just go off the back wall and in for a 3. Works pretty well, and yeah, nice little shortcut. Now we move to the Sub-Zero baths. There's kind of 2 ways you can approach this one. You can either go to the left of that bath there, and then just fire it down along this line of bricks, and sometimes you can pop up on that one, and then you have a chance to get the hole in 3. Just like that. Or else, the other way to approach it is to go in front of the ice bath along here. A little bit more risky, but if you get here, it's much easier to get the 3, because you can just fire it straight down here, gets over the bricks, and yeah, in for a 3. But with a 4 power, 3 is pretty hard to make either way, so 4 is the usual for this hole. Cracking hole, the newest hole, although it's not that new anymore. Pretty straightforward. You just go to the right, the wind blows you through the biggest crack, and then you just fire it up and tap it in for a 3. And now for the leap of faith. You just got to wait for the geyser, pop up, and then from here take the leap of faith. Not too far right, otherwise you'll fall off, and you'll land somewhere around here, and one way or another make it in for a hole in 3. And the last hole, only one of them done in 4 shots, through to Cloud 9. So you just do about a middle orange off the right side into the bridge. If you can go across the geyser and potentially make a hole in 3, but its chances of making it are so much harder, and it's just definitely not worth it almost 9 times out of 10 you're not going to make a 3. So it's better to just go across that geyser and make a pretty straightforward hole in 4. So there we go guys, that is every hole in Windy Cliffs with a 4-power club. My opinion, the best shortcut to take. It's the most consistent routes. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, make sure to like and subscribe. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care. Peace.